My name is Bill Hillestead, and I've been working with top producing mortgage and real estate professionals for over 2 decades now. And in that time, it's become increasingly clear that it's the same 3 mistakes that occur over and over that hold people back. Mistake number 1, not knowing where business actually comes from. Mistake number 2, not knowing the purpose and value of leads. And mistake number 3, thinking you can do it all by yourself. Let's take a look at where our business actually does come from. As you can see, according to NAR, 26% of our business comes from all the things that we spend all our time doing, the things that we call marketing, while 74% of our business comes from either our database or our digital presence. Okay, but the most shocking statistic out of all this is that out of our past clients, 86% of them said that they would happily use us again or refer us to friends or family, and yet only 10% of them did. What happened to the other 76? Easily 8.5 times as much business could have come from this, the largest category of where our business comes from, and yet we missed out on it. So now let's take a look at those numbers in California. See, California tends to be a leading indicator for the rest of the country, especially when it comes to tech trends. In California last year, 72.5% of buyers and sellers said they found their agent online. Online, digital, database. It's all about buying brain cells. It's all about making yourself memorable. It's all about making sure that we stay top of mind. In The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, Gary Keller tells us that if we stay in touch with people 33 times a year in the right way, that we'll get about 16.5% of those people to do business with us each and every single year. Now, in my own personal experience, I find the number tends to be more like 8 to 12%. But wait a second, you're telling me that if I've got 100 people in my database, 100 people that I've met on my Facebook, that they're good for 8 to 12 sides a year, and if I've got 540 to 60, wait a second. How do I get more people in my database? How do I buy brain cells so that people think of me when they think of real estate? And that brings us to the second big mistake, not knowing the value or purpose of leads. I hear it all the time. These leads are terrible. I hate following up on leads. And we think, this is the mistake, we think of leads as a way to get business, and it's completely wrong. We're not trying to get business. We're trying to grow a database. In fact, there are only 2 marketing functions. You are either growing a database or you are nurturing that database. When I'm going after leads, all I'm trying to do is make contacts, grow my database, make a connection with people so I can buy enough brain cells so that I get a lifetime of business and referrals from them. Well, in that case, there's no such thing as a bad lead. Unless I'm not likable to this person, every lead is a good lead. Everybody I meet in the grocery store, everybody I meet at a social function, every lead I get online, it's not a lead, it's a new contact. I'm growing my database or I'm nurturing my database. I just have to have a way to stand out in these people's minds and make those connections. So now let's talk about the third and final mistake, thinking that I can do it all, that it's up to me. Well, you know what? That's employee mentality. I'm going to do my job. An entrepreneur thinks, how can I get this stuff done? How can I hire people? How can I grow? You're growing a business. You need to use people to do things that are better at those things than you are. You need to make sure that things get done and that you spend all of your time doing whatever your highest and best use is, which is growing your database or nurturing your database. That's it. How do I make more contacts? How do I stay top of mind? You've got to invest in your business. It's a business. It's not a job. So here's a stat for you. Agents who invest $1,000 or more in their online presence every year do 17 times as much business from the web as agents who don't. How's that for dramatic? You've got to invest in your business, whether it's an assistant or resources, but you got to be smart about it and know what you're doing and not make the first 2 mistakes when you're investing. If you dump all your money into leads, you're going to spend your life on a hamster wheel chasing leads, and the moment you slow down, the business will stop. So, what does Agent Select have to do with all of this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Rule number 1 is you have to be noticed before you could ever be remembered. See, every day we drive by hundreds of stop signs and we don't really notice them. We stop mindlessly. But if once, just once, you drove by a different colored stop sign, you'd remember it for the rest of your life. You see, it's called a pattern interrupt. If we expect something, it's invisible. You know what? When I go online and I look at all the agent websites and all the ads and it's the same thing. We look just like everybody else. You see, we have to stand out if we want to get people's attention. Ah, Bill, I get all my business by referrals. I don't need that online stuff. You know what? 82% of warm referrals are going to Google you before they contact you. And if what they see when they Google your name isn't impressive, if it doesn't stand out, if it looks like everybody else, they move on, and we never even realize that we've lost the business. You've got to have a strong digital presence today, or you're dead. Those standard websites, those standard Facebook pages doing the same thing, that's not marketing, that's camouflage. What are you trying to do, blend in? So, the first thing we need to do is start with a website that doesn't look like everybody else's. It needs to convey your personality. Forbes says that authentic is the new sexy. It's the age of reality TV and social media, and people like real, they like connection. The corporate website is dead. Google it, you'll see over 10 million hits. So what do? You gotta put your personality in your website, not buy the same website everybody else has. So we start with a website that's completely customizable, and it's not something you do up front, it's something you do over time, for the rest of your life, a living, dynamic, your online persona. That's what we're talking about. Once you have this mobile, 42% of all real estate traffic, responsive, dynamic, SEO optimized website that you can customize with all sorts of pictures and videos and content, okay, we're off to a start. But that's just the beginning. Okay, so I have a mobile, responsive, dynamic website that reflects my personality and looks different than everybody else's. What next? How about video marketing? Did you know that 55% of all the traffic on the web is video today, and that by 2017 it's supposed to top 75%? 86% of all home buyers look for videos on community information. You should be making those videos. So we'll set you up with a complete video marketing platform, your own channels, easy ways to produce videos. We're going to turn you into a video marketer because nothing will turn you into an authority in your chosen niche faster than creating videos. Okay, so I have my video channel. I'm doing video marketing. People are watching my videos. This is a lot of fun. What next? Social media. Sorry to say it. You have to go there today. The simple reality is that's where it's at. And let me tell you, here's the secret that people don't understand about social. It crushes anything that used to be a CRM. Friends don't CRM friends. When was the last time you got something from a CRM that you went, oh my gosh, I'm so glad somebody sent me this in my inbox or my mailbox or whatever. And yet, when you're going through Facebook, you're going, oh, look at this, and you're in friend mode. And it is an opportunity, when you do it strategically, when you do it correctly, and you link your personal with your page, and you're posting the right things, and it's not solicitational. Look at my latest listing. When you do it right, it's the opportunity to crush any CRM that's ever existed and to maintain more friendships than you imagine possible, because he or she who has the most friends wins. Okay, so I'm going to do the social stuff. Now what? What else do I get with Agent Select? Well, we're going to help you with your social, your video, your website, your authority online, but most importantly, it's the education. We're going to raise your digital IQ. We're going to make sure that this becomes second nature, and this isn't going to come easy, and it's not going to come fast. You see, you can't buy success. You can't buy your brand. You have to build it, and we're going to work with you to build it over time. In the same way that an entertainer or an athlete has an agent, think of us as your agency. You see, we're going to bring everything you need, the tools, the education, the motivation, but you have to do it. Everything that we're going to show you can be done for free. The videos, the social media, but for some of you who want to have these things done for you, we'll find the cheapest, best, most professional resources and make those available to you. We're going to make it easy for the person who doesn't want to do it and make it as easy as possible for the person who wants to do it all themselves. Either way, the key is you've got to do it. And the last thing we're going to give you is probably the thing you need more than anything else, and that's a partner. Help doing all these things. Somebody to hold you accountable, somebody who's got your back, somebody to pick up the slack and do half the work. See, you're trying to grow and nurture a database. But if you and somebody else could each grow your database by 100 people, Well, if you shared a database, you'd grow it by 200 people. And if you nurtured it together, you'd take your 2% average conversion rate and bump it up to that 8 to 12 we were talking about. Or who knows, some of you might even hit that magical 16 or 17 Gary Keller talks about. That's how this program works, and it's the only way we do it. Think of it as a dance class. We're given tango lessons and you can't come alone. You need to have a partner so that you can tap into this program. It makes our job so much easier when we've got two people working on the same goal. If you don't build a book, if you don't build a portfolio, if you don't build a business, you just have a job. That's what Agent Select is all about.